A few years ago, Selena Gomez was one of the most desired women in pop culture. She was dating Justin Bieber, hanging out with Taylor Swift, taking over the stage, and fans viewed her as this unattainable it girl that every guy wanted. Fast forward to 2026, and Selena Gomez is on a podcast kissing Benny Blanco's dirty feet while Benny laughs about how she chased him first.
We were dating for like 3 weeks and she'd be like, well, what are we? And I was like, what? And
I thought it was a date.
She asked me.
I was very nervous.
Yeah, I was not nervous. I had no idea. She was like, well, I thought this was a date. And I was like, is it a date?
Asked me out on a date, but I didn't know it was a date. She used to pull up to my house minimum 20 minutes early, maybe 30 minutes early, and she would wait outside.
So what happened? Because the problem isn't that Selena found love, the problem is that her relationship with Benny Blanco completely shattered the fantasy people had bought into for over a decade.
And you were coming to look for me, and nobody knew she was coming to see me, but it was so hard for her to ask the people, the staff there, searching for like an hour trying to find me.
That makes me sound so like pathetic.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Angela here with a special deep dive about no one other than Selena Gomez. Everyone is always super confused about Selena and her life. Why did things turn out this way? Why does she sound like this?
You know, I will say when I'm with my sister or we're in the car, sometimes like Who Says is one of the songs.
Why is her personality so different? How is she with Benny? And so on. Selena's life story is one about a mask finally crumbling. For nearly a decade, she was constantly presenting the public with a lie and calling it authenticity. She always shielded the true parts of her personality and perfectly curated what people should see her as. The issue with that is, what happens when you finally decide that this lie is too much? That it's too much effort to keep up an image that is not truly you? The it girl who loved music, being a sexy fashion icon, dating the hottest men, and being fawned over by others while she didn't care at all because life was truly that effortless and easy for her, quickly unraveled. We were left with the messy Selena who embarrasses herself, chases someone that the internet deemed too ugly for her, and completely abandoned this baddie it girl revival for a more old-style glamour and quiet life fulfilling her true love, acting. Real ones know I started blogging about Selena back in 2013, and the Selena that everyone sees today is the Selena I always said existed. People clowned me then, but are asking me questions today, so that's why you should hit that like button, subscribe for more Scandalous Media, and put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do every single week. I guarantee no other channel will cover the angles we take here, so while you're at it, follow us on our social media and click that hype button because that helps us a lot. Before we get into why the public still isn't softening up to Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez's relationship, and why this might have harmed her branding more than people expected, let's talk about something that actually does make sense. Being rewarded for playing games. Lately, when I've needed to shut my brain off for a bit, I've been using Misplay. Misplay is an app where you can discover new mobile games, earn points while you play, and redeem those points for gift cards. I've been testing it out recently and ended up finding a few games that I genuinely got hooked on. I've been playing Whiteout Survival because I love story-driven games. I've also been playing Merge Cooking when I want something a little bit more relaxing and low stress. And then there's Solitaire, which has become my go-to game when I want to shut my brain off for a few minutes, but still feel like I'm doing something other than endlessly scrolling. What I like about Misplay is that it helps me discover games I never would have downloaded on my own, plus those games can help you earn points and can be redeemed for gift cards from places like Amazon, PlayStation, Xbox, Uber Eats, and more. And the best part, you don't need to buy anything to get started. Misplay has a community of millions of players, and over $200 million in gift cards have already been redeemed through the app. Misplay has also gifted me a $100 gift card, so I was able to redeem one for myself and see exactly how the process works. I'm actually using this gift card on Amazon to pick up some birthday decorations because Alana's birthday is next month and we gotta kick off summer the right way. So if you're anything like me and need to shut off your brain for a bit after spending an hour dissecting celebrity relationships, download Misplay using my link below and get 200 bonus points inside the app. Start playing, earn points, and redeem them for gift cards. And now, let's move from redeeming gift cards to a much harder challenge: redeeming a public image. Chapter 1. Selena's entire brand was built on being desired. For most celebrities, being attractive is a bonus. For Selena Gomez, being desired became her brand. Long before Rare Beauty, Only Murders in the Building, and before Benny Blanco was even in the picture, Selena occupied a very specific role in celebrity culture. She wasn't just famous, she was the girl boys had crushes on, the girl magazines put on their covers, the girl fans projected themselves onto, and the girl that the internet constantly speculated about. Part of that was because Selena's romantic history read like a pop culture fever dream. Her messy relationship with Justin Bieber defined her career for a very long time because they started dating when she started wrapping up her years on Disney. This comes to haunt Selena in the years to come. We see this theme in her song Same Old Love, and when she cries over not feeling good enough by herself and without that Bieber association in her documentary.
He called me this morning about the song with Justin, and I was like, when am I gonna just be good enough by myself?
And at this point in time, Disney fame could only do so much for global stardom. It was something mainly experienced by Miley Cyrus and the Jonas Brothers, but it was ultimately crushed by Justin Bieber, who defined what it meant to be an internet sensation in the 2010s. So for a very long time, Selena was referred to as Justin Bieber's girlfriend, and after the breakup, it became Justin Bieber's ex-girlfriend. The singer role was already occupied by peers Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato, who, believe it or not, were more commercially successful at this point. Chart-wise, Selena was struggling to compete with Miley and Demi, who had already racked up multiple top 20 hits on the Billboard charts, as well as a #1 album before they even turned 18. These are milestones that Selena only started hitting in 2013 with her Stars Dance album. It took a significant rebrand to go from the Disney chick who didn't know how to sing.
Can you sing?
Can I sing?
No,
I can sing now.
Sing your favorite song right now.
Why do you want me to sing
only one
so
sentence.
much?
I can't.
I'm not gonna sing for you guys.
I can't.
To the sexy and elusive pop star trying to shed her child audience and integrate an adult one. The second Selena turned 21, she started posting herself drinking all the time, clubbing, going out, and she made it a big theme on her Stars Dance album. She wanted to be seen as the cool girl with a lot of friends, especially in the height of her breakup with Justin Bieber. She also wanted to be seen as an adult superstar, the one who wasn't scared of taking on a role in Spring Breakers or cursing at the paparazzi. She seemed to be doing incredible after that. She just got more beautiful, she seemed more confident, and she started doing choreography that she's never attempted in the past, and she really took her music career seriously after this. While Justin was self-destructing in the corner, doing God knows what with God knows who, Selena seemed like she was thriving after the breakup. Keyword, it seemed that way. This becomes Selena's gig for the next few years. I'm thriving, I don't care what he does, and he's crying over me. In 2015 and 2016, we see Selena fully lean into this, and these are the 2 years that fans and Selena are both nostalgic about. She exuded this confidence that she never had before, and ironically, it's when the streets were saying that she was on coke. At this point, many notable male stars are saying that Selena's their celebrity crush, and any man who hung out with Selena became hooked for a short period of time. She was linked to Zedd, Orlando Bloom, Samuel Cross, Charlie Puth, and so on. Her fans thrived on her success with men and her beauty. It was almost like her success was their success. Selena's fans had an intense parasocial relationship with Selena, and they started attacking other fans because of the belief that their favorite stars weren't as perfect as Selena. They attacked Demi stans by using Selena's looks against Demi's, attacked Ariana's fans by using Ariana's scandals against Selena's perfect vanilla image. They attacked Miley's fans by going after Miley's public persona of looking messy and crazy, comparing it to Selena being deemed as the classiest and hottest Hollywood star. And they most notably attacked Justin's fans, claiming that Justin's too hooked on Selena while she doesn't give him the time of day. The majority of their belief came from Selena egging her fans on, even liking Instagram photos of fans worshipping her while she was in the middle of a media war with Justin and Sofia Richie. Selena was constantly engaging in this type of content where the women Justin was seen with were being put down as girls who aren't Selena and never will be. And the worst part, Selena was liking this comment on Instagram, so it only provoked more of it. It was because of the endless drama Selena entangled herself in with the media, not taking her seriously as an artist, or all her shade attempts toward Justin, or simply competing with other peers that had fans fighting on her behalf every single day. Also, being entangled in all that drama made her more desirable because it kept her in the spotlight while hiding her own faults. Selena's relationship with the public is what fueled her it girl status. People felt protective of her because she somehow managed to embody two opposing archetypes at once: the untouchable dream girl who didn't need anyone, and the damsel in distress who needed saving. The only person Selena publicly dated for a significant period of time after Justin was The Weeknd, and their relationship coincided with a much larger image overhaul. Gone was the Disney sweetheart image, in its place was a darker, moodier, more sensual Selena, one that felt heavily inspired by the alternative pop aesthetic dominating the late 2010s thanks to Lana Del Rey. She approached its relationship with a different narrative, wanting to match The Weeknd's aesthetic, posting a photo of her in a silk lace dress, tagging The Weeknd with the caption saying, "Date night." During this era, we see a lot more sheer clothing, sensual posing, and an overall baddie vibe. Dating The Weeknd fed into Selena's desirability because The Weeknd was deemed as equally hot, only dating models and writing songs that had everyone blushing. He was mysterious, critically acclaimed, effortlessly cool, and at the time, seemed to exclusively date some of the most beautiful women in the entertainment industry. The Weeknd had a unique musical presence that attracted him to his fans. He was able to sing about sex through the lens of yearning rather than scoring. This was the era of Bad Liar and Fetish, where Selena traded bubblegum pop for whispered vocals, sultry visuals, and an air of mystery that only aided to her desirability. Dating The Weeknd didn't disrupt the fantasy, but rather reinforced it. The important thing to understand is that Selena's appeal was never just about beauty. Hollywood is full of beautiful women. What Selena mastered was the art of making people believe she was simultaneously attainable and unattainable at the same time. She was relatable enough to root for, but glamorous enough to envy, vulnerable enough to feel human, but mysterious enough that fans could fill in the blanks themselves. And that combination created this chaotic energy where you couldn't look away. She was always portrayed as the prize, the heartbreaker, and the girl everyone wanted. The public fantasy was, if Selena ever settles down, it'll be with some impossibly cool, powerful, attractive guy. Then, Benny enters. Chapter 2. Benny was the opposite of the fantasy. Benny was the last person people thought Selena would get with, and leading up to Selena confirming their relationship in a psychotic rant on Instagram, which I'll get to next, the internet, and mainly her parasocial fans, were spreading lies for months that she was dating 3 hot men of the hour. It was either Chris Evans, Zayn Malik, or Jack Schlossberg. People assumed that Selena would end up with someone in that font, someone with aura, someone conventionally desirable, wildly successful in his own right, and the kind of man everyone wanted to be with, but who ultimately chose Selena. And so when someone like Benny Blanco enters the picture, a man who is constantly discussing bodily functions and is actually on camera telling Selena's biggest trigger, the Biebers, how he pees on himself, the reaction is, oh, this is a nightmare.
I poop my pants a lot. Like, I poop my pants as an adult. You pants, Haley. Everyone.
But believe it or not, who Benny wasn't the main issue. It was how he spoke about Selena chasing him, such as wanting to define their relationship after 3 weeks.
Selena would turn over, it'd be 3 in the morning and we were dating for like 3 weeks and she'd be like, well, what are we? And I was like, what? And then she was like, well, when I go to New York this weekend, what am I going to tell people we are? And I was like, she caught me so off guard.
He asked me out, but he wanted to hang out as friends, so I thought it was a date.
She asked me out.
No, you said come hang.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know it was a date.
Oh, I thought it was. I was very nervous.
Yeah, I was not nervous. I had no idea. She was like, well, I thought this was a date. And I was like, is it a date?
It made people question, did Princess Selena not weep through countless winters over her lonely heart, only for fate to repay her suffering with a marriage to a bridge-dwelling troll? Keep in mind that I've always maintained that Benny treats Selena amazing, and he low-key saved her for several reasons I'm not going to get into this video, but this video is solely talking about her fans' reaction and ultimately the general public's perspective and how this affected Selena's it girl image in the long run. I don't even think Benny is ugly or anything, I'm just explaining how Sweet Ben shattered the untouchable image of Selena. And take this as a life lesson, friends, you reap what you sow. Everything that Selena egged her fans to keep doing to her ex and his wife has manifested in her life partner. Literally every troll and insult they said to the Biebers is an actual fact when it comes to Benny and Selena. The main issue when it came to Benny, aside from his appearance, was that fans didn't view him as fitting the image they'd spent years building in their heads. He overshared, was self-deprecating, and goofy in a way that wasn't lovable. It was more like, okay, he's creeping me out by the number of times he's talking about his friend's penis. It was also all the weird jokes Benny would make on social media, ones where he was sexualizing everything including kids and dogs. It's the way he carried himself, and because he's not your traditional hunk you cast in a movie, sorry to be vain but it's true, he didn't get the chance to get his weirdness written off with a pretty privileged check. I actually just talked about this in my Harry Styles deep dive. When the internet suddenly deemed Harry as not sexy anymore, suddenly the criticism was louder than before. We saw the same thing with Justin Bieber. Whenever he's dressed as a hobo and mean-mugging the paparazzi and his beard isn't trimmed, suddenly the media is running with the story that he's unwell and everyone is like, oh my god, what happened to Justin Bieber? The moment he dresses nice and smiles at the camera, he suddenly looks healthy. Looks matter, especially when it comes to the vainest industry of all, Hollywood. And by association, Selena became embarrassing too, especially once she stopped trying to hold the mask together. The very mask she had spent years carefully repairing every time a crack appeared was now being ripped off in public, revealing a version of herself that didn't match the fantasy people had fallen in love with. Chapter 3. The relationship started feeling embarrassing instead of aspirational. Selena kissing Benny's literal dirty feet has destroyed her public image and the facade she spent years maintaining more than any drug scandal ever could.
My mom said I was very... They like that?
Oh, don't make it a moment.
You guys have to understand that she kissed his feet the week after the media was posting about him appearing on the podcast with extremely dirty feet. So the following week when Selena was on the show, she wanted to show solidarity with Benny's dirty feet agenda to the point where she kissed them for the world to see. Now I get being down bad, but baby, that's just something else entirely. But since the second Benny came into the picture, Selena was very messy to say the least. Selena and Benny were secretly dating for 6 months when she confirmed their relationship during a mental breakdown with fans in true Selena fashion. She was defending him from her fans who were also having a mental breakdown because how dare thou, Princess Selena, bestow thy affections upon peasant Benny. Some of her comments were, no, because he has treated me better than any human being on this planet. He is my absolute everything in my heart. One fan said, he cursed you, that's not treating you well. To which Selena replies, then why has he been the best thing that's ever happened to me? The end. Another said, you're just corny, oh my god, that man was shading you years ago. To which Selena said, LOL yeah, and he's still better than anyone I've ever been with, facts. Someone said, she has low self-esteem sadly. There are so many intelligent, talented, handsome, clean men that want her, but she always chooses the musty. And she goes, LOL, oh sweet girl, so off. Throwing shade in true Selena fashion, she tells one fan, don't feel free to grow with me. Just know I'm not going to be with an F-boy ever again. Sorry to disappoint. She was defending Benny so hard to the point where she shattered her natural girl image that she was trying to uphold by revealing that she got Botox. One user wrote, remove your cheek fillers/implants, it's messing with your brain. To which she replies, ha 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 ha, I've had Botox, baby girl. And while it's practically common knowledge today that Selena has gotten a lot of unnecessary work done to her face, you have to understand that back in the day, she was hailed as a natural beauty, you know, unlike the other skanks of the industry. That also played into her desirability that she was this classy, effortless, and smart, soft-spoken woman. So when she's ready to be nailed to the cross in her Instagram comments to defend Benny, it was off-putting to say the least. I made a whole video recapping all that drama, and you should definitely check it out because she was truly unhinged. But the Instagram comments were just the start of it. Thanks to Benny, we know that Selena pursued him first. She initiated everything and she was obsessed with him.
And you were coming to look for me, and nobody knew she was coming to see me. But it was so hard for her to ask the people on like the staff there because she didn't want them to know that she was searching for like an hour trying to find me.
That makes me sound so like pathetic. That doesn't count.
Who organized the second date? You said come over. She was like, let's hang out again. It was so casual, and it was who said I love you first? She did. She said it so many times. I didn't say it back. Like I literally wasn't even thinking.
He revealed that she would show up at his house 20 minutes earlier for a date and park down the block, unaware that his cameras captured her.
It is so insane. When we first started going out on dates, she used to pull up to my house minimum 20 minutes early, maybe 30 minutes early. And she would wait outside, but she didn't realize that my cameras could see like down the street, and her car would just be parked outside for like 30 minutes. And she would just wait until it was time to come in.
This is so embarrassing. I didn't realize that he had cameras outside his house.
It was moments like these where Benny positioned himself as the prize, and Selena, well, she looked desperate as hell, especially since she was just coming off the sold-out I'm Single world tour.
I'm single!
Guys, I figured out the reason why I'm single.
Even when it came to their proposal, it was a simple picnic at his house where he got Selena Taco Bell. Now keep in mind that Taco Bell is Selena's favorite food, and Benny even learned how to recreate the Taco Bell meat so he can make it for her, and sometimes those small, thoughtful gestures mean far more than grand spectacles ever could, especially for celebrities who spend their entire lives surrounded by luxury and over-the-top displays of wealth. But even then, it just felt like it was lazy on Benny's behalf when you take into account that it was essentially Selena chasing this man. That was actually the premise of their entire album together. Imagine this, you're waiting years for Selena to come back to the music scene. She's teasing and posting throwbacks from the revival era, aka her peak it girl era, and she keeps teasing SG3 even though she has like 8 albums. Bam. She finally releases an album, but it's with Benny, and it's centered about how she said I love you first.
It just goes, I love you. And I said, what? And she goes, I love you. And I said,
I don't remember.
I was like, go back to bed.
And it wasn't just that one time he gloated about how she said it, but he also made sure to continue emphasizing he didn't say anything back on more than 3 different occasions.
She actually said I love you first. She goes, I love you. And I was like, go back to bed. And she's like, I love you. And then I was like, what? And she was like, I love you. And I
don't remember.
I didn't say anything back.
I've previously spoken about how after dating Selena, Benny was in an interview talking about how he's not a marriage person, but he'd want to have a kid with her. Anyone who knows Selena knows that she's desired marriage for a very long time. But it wasn't enough that Benny had already said that. He also made sure to emphasize that to her in an interview while she's smiling at him all lovey-dovey.
I never cared about marriage. It wasn't a thing in my head. She cared about it so much.
Just take a look at this clip.
I texted you back
when I went in there, I wasn't even thinking about like dating you. I was.
Well, neither was I.
Neither was I, and it's like, girl, Benny already exposed how you were camped outside of his house before dates, how you were mumbling I love yous he didn't return, and how you were begging to make this official after 3 weeks. So not only is it embarrassing that any chance Benny gets, he's talking about how Selena was chasing him and treating him like the prize she's on a date with that he didn't know was a date, now we gotta suffer this humiliation ritual where Selena goes around parading how she chased Benny.
He asked me out. What? It was crazy. It was crazy. No! It was crazy.
Even their dynamic in person. Benny often leaves Selena hanging. In this video from this past May at Martin Short's premiere, they get out of the car, Benny doesn't even look at her and just dips the other way while she says hi to fans and then goes after him.
Selena! Selena! Selena on this side! Selena! Selena!
Here's another video where they get out of the car and Benny just storms off in front of her into the restaurant, not even holding the door of the restaurant open for her. And those occasions aren't necessarily a big deal, but when you add it to how he speaks about how she pined for him, well, that says a lot. The worst part is that almost in every promotional interview for this album, Benny continued to emphasize how Selena asked him out on a date that he didn't know was a date.
Asked me out on a date. Yes! Yeah, she asked me out on a date, but I didn't know it was a date. On the first date, and I had no idea it was the first date.
You excited the first date?
Yeah.
You were? What was going through your head? Oh my God, I can't believe.
Sitting there, and she's like, well, I would have worn something different for this date. And I was like, what? We're on a date?
You literally texted me right after what I didn't know was our first date.
She looked at me and I thought we were on a date.
And I was like, we're on a date.
So wait, you thought it was a date?
She thought it was.
Oh.
She thought it was a date.
I'm sorry, a nice man takes me out for a drink. I'm assuming it's a date.
I didn't know. She all of a sudden like leaves, and she was like, I have a video shoot really early in the morning. And I was like, okay. And I was like, but I wasn't like, because it wasn't a date to me or anything. So I was like, okay, cool. And I stayed with my friends and stuff. And then she texted me after, and I remember you being like, that was like one of the most fun times I've had in a really long time.
Dear God, he just kept going. Fans weren't buying it, physically and literally. The songs underperformed and no one cared for them, even though it was a pretty decent album. And the worst part is that whenever I think about that album, I think about how desperate she was for a trendy hit that she thought shading the Biebers on the album would get her. First of all, the song How Does It Feel to Be Forgotten was talking about this girl who walked in with a big ass grin thinking they're friends, and of course the parasocial fans online made edits of Selena and Hailey posing for photos during that one fever dream, proclaiming that this song is Selena putting Hailey in her place. Selena sings, talking like we're friends, honey, what were you thinking? He loves me, I love him. Look at you, you're so embarrassing. Go cry when no one's watching. How does it feel to be forgotten? And I feel like this song is Selena low-key living out her dream if she had married Justin and Hailey was truly the villain that the internet painted her as, and that this song is basically an ode to that. Selena won, Hailey's nowhere to be found, and everyone forgot about her. But when you look at the reality where Hailey actually won the long game here, and it's Selena who lost the it girl status that Hailey now holds, it's ironic. More about that in my Hailey Bieber video, From Loser to It Girl. It also doesn't help when their song Talk samples vocals from Never There by Cake, but the vocals are auto-tuned to sound exactly like Justin Bieber. Go listen to it and let me know what you think. Then there is Younger and Hotter Than Me, which people called out Selena for being a pick-me because she's always putting herself down in a way that comes off like she's fishing for compliments. Oh, I wish I was as pretty as Bella Hadid, Taylor looks amazing while I look like this, and it's this self-deprecating humor that is a turnoff in both Benny and Selena. And you have to understand that this album was released at the height of all the Bieber drama and the internet turning on Hailey to uplift Selena. It's like it was Selena's way of giving them more ammo to hate, because even if that wasn't the song's intention, the shoe sure as hell fit, and the TikTok edits were never ending. It also doesn't help that Selena was still on her single Sad Girl tour while secretly dating Benny during those 6 months. So it really felt like she got off on being a liar who provoked a lot of hate. And so when the facade finally fell, so did the carefully crafted image that had protected her for over a decade. Chapter 4. Selena accidentally lost her it girl aura. Before Benny, Selena cosplayed as this ultimate glamorous girl who was unattainable, lived a glamorous lifestyle, and was the world's heartbreak heroine. After Benny, it revealed the truth all along. Selena is just as chronically online as the rest of us. She can't stop oversharing, she's very insecure, and she's constantly seeking validation. Many people thought that when Selena finally got with someone, it would be looked at the way Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's relationship is viewed. At first, the internet clowned Kylie and their relationship with ongoing jokes about how Timothée is too smart for Kylie and like what do they even talk about, and now all we see is how Timothée is all over Kylie at the Knicks games and is bringing her along to all his fancy acting awards shows and showing her off without embarrassing her and putting her down like Sir Benny. So it's one thing to be clowned, it's another to just dogpile onto the clowning and sell tickets to your circus. But for Selena, it wasn't just Benny ruining this illusion of this untouchable it girl, it was also in the way she handled a lot of things. We see this in the way she was fighting with fans, responding to criticism, and defending Benny. An it girl ignores criticism because she can't be bothered to explain herself to people. Selena was engaging with it 24/7, and it didn't help that if she wasn't defending Benny, she was interacting with anti-Bieber content while threatening a social media break that only lasts 2 minutes. This constantly happening woke people up. Sure, it took maybe a decade of the internet waking up to the pattern Selena was displaying all along, but as I've always said, time tells all. Selena spent many years soaking in bitterness and the epitome life. Her friend told it to her best: you attract chaos.
That's probably self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think stuff being normal or not having chaos is actually uncomfortable, because if you think about it, your life for so long from such a young age has always been chaos, right?
Yeah.
Selena was never calm, cool, or collected. She only appeared that way because her mental breakdowns were usually in the depths of the Instagram comments and not necessarily being caught in public like her peers. So it was eventually buried, and the only reason the screenshots from 2014 and 2016 of her behaving the same exact way we saw in 2021, 2023, and so on exist is because of blogs like mine that kept record of it. The media sure as hell wasn't covering it the way they are today because social media wasn't as big back then as it is today. Therefore, the messiness was easier to conceal. It's why people felt like Selena has changed so much. As far as I've known Selena to be, she's always been chaotic. She just stopped giving energy in preserving such a flawless image and started embracing the messy. And the thing about being a public figure who's constantly being obsessed over and having a loyal audience is that alone is a full-time job. Chapter 5. The public doesn't want a healthy relationship, they want a fantasy. When the public is used to a big dramatic ending, such as the Jelena breakup in 2018, followed up with an even bigger dramatic boyfriend reveal that everyone thought would be Selena's Prince Charming, well, let's just say how healthy a relationship is doesn't get factored into the public's concern. The public and Selena's fans would have cheered a relationship on if the guy Selena was with was conventionally attractive, even if that meant behind closed doors she wasn't being treated right. Because the only thing the public cares about is their own perception of someone else's life. If they can't imagine you happy, then you must not actually be happy. And for so long, what aided into Selena's desirability was the fact that she never claimed a single boyfriend after the Weeknd. She went out on dates and dated behind the scenes, but she never confirmed the relationship, and so the public was eager to see who would finally be her next official boyfriend. Everyone hyped up who Selena was going to finally end up with for so long that when Benny was revealed to be the real deal, everyone felt like, wait, that's it? Benny Blanco didn't ruin Selena Gomez's brand, he exposed the parts of it that were never real. If anything, he's made Selena feel more human by welcoming the parts of her that she doesn't need to conceal any longer.
Selena will have having mania and she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She'll start to realize she's having it after it's happening. And sometimes she doesn't even remember when it's happening. And it's such a delicate thing because it's like, you're not supposed to technically talk to the person really about it while they're deep in it.
But I'm equally so proud to say that I do have moments of mania.
It was damaging for Selena's own mental health when she would watch the way her fans tore others apart by lifting her up as if she was doing any better than them. She knew the truth. She was just as flawed as the rest of her peers. But because of needing constant external validation, she never felt like she could be honest with her audience. She never thought she'd be accepted or good enough on her own, and for a very long time, she felt like her own fans added to that struggle. That's why when she debuted with Benny, it was all, for the love of God, leave me alone. It's also why when Benny said he wished he had dated Selena earlier, she told him he wouldn't have liked her in her prime.
I'm so mad at God or the universe for making me wait so long.
Honey,
Son, of course.
you
At a
would
later
have
age.
liked me.
She was extremely shallow back then and probably wouldn't have been a nice person to be around, which she admits to now. Being with Benny and experiencing what Selena found to be genuine love has dried up the public's perception that she is the people's princess. And that is the issue with fans and their parasocial relationship to other people they ultimately do not know. For years, fans projected an image onto Selena, beautiful, mysterious, desired, untouchable, and Benny's presence shattered that illusion. Suddenly, Selena wasn't a fantasy anymore. She was just a woman in love, oversharing on podcasts, defending her boyfriend online, and making choices fans didn't expect. The question isn't whether Benny is good for Selena, the question is whether Selena's brand can survive being seen as ordinary and messy. And if you ask me, she's past the level of relationships making or breaking her career. Had this been 2011 or 2013, who she dated would have mattered. Selena no longer seems interested in the pop star lifestyle that garnered her all these fans in the first place, and her low-key life with Benny is making people wonder how much that will affect the way she's perceived moving forward. What do you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell me if you agree with what was said in the video, and if you feel like the public's perception of someone is their own fault, or if it's the fans' doing as well. What do you guys think about Selena and Benny? Has their relationship grown on you, or do you still feel like this was a match made in desperation? Be sure to like and subscribe for more, put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video, and make sure to press that YouTube hype button to give this video a shout out and push it onto the feed. Thanks, and as always, I'll see you next time.